So here we have our watches. So you have different types of watches that you might want to put a NATO on. A watch like this, a formal dress watch with a leather strap, is fairly easy to take these straps off. The metal bracelet watch is a little bit harder, but I'll show you guys how to do that. So things to have nearby, a measuring tool, not necessarily that, but you definitely will need one of these watch tools. Sometimes when you buy a NATO strap, I bought this one on Amazon for $12. It came with this pin. You're gonna need this to replace the straps. I bought this one on Amazon for $8, and it came with this pin. So they usually tend to come with a watch removal tools. But I have my own, a heavy duty one that I keep at home here. So basically what these are, like little forks to dig out the spring bars. If you have a metal watch or a bracelet that's kind of hard to get off, you might want to get a safety pin nearby. I'll show you guys. I can't even open that. Safety pin, what safety pin will do is tend to remove, like if you have buckles like this, you can remove a buckle easy with a safety pin. A watch like this, the safety pin would work to remove this thing, which kind of helps open up the straps because it gives you a little bit of room to get the spring bars off. So that's why I like to have a safety pin nearby. Sometimes if you do get a watch tool, like this watch tool did not come with an extra thing there, extra bit there, but this one actually came with a little kind of like exactly what that safety pin did. It's like just a little needle there, like a little point to open up the watch. So let's put that to the side. Now we're gonna take these off. I'm gonna start with the leather bracelet because the leather bracelet is easier. So I'm gonna use my little fork tool here. Put that to the side. Also, for some weird reason, all my NATO straps came with extra spring bars, so don't throw these out. Keep these in case you lose one, because they tend to, like, if you release it, it could go across the room and you won't see it again. So let's just get this open. So I'm gonna get my fork and I'm gonna stick it in between there. I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can see better. I got my zoom function now, my new Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. So I'm gonna stick my fork right in there. And the spring bar comes right out. I don't know if you guys see that. Sometimes these spring out, so just keep that in mind. I'm gonna remove that from my leather strap, put that to the side there, and put that there. I'm gonna do the same on this side. Like I said, this one is fairly easier than the steel one. So I'm gonna keep digging. Don't worry about scratching it. Sometimes these don't really scratch the lugs of your watch, so you could be careful. You don't want to be reckless with it, but I've never had my lugs scratched by one of these things, surprisingly. So with that off, now I'm assuming you didn't buy your NATO strap yet or your Zulu strap. You could use a measuring tool like this, as a watch, a caliper, and I'm gonna set it to 0. I'm gonna measure the space between my lugs here, and that's in inches, but I want milliliters, so I'm gonna change that over to millimeters. Sorry, I've been getting a lot of flack for saying that wrong on my channel. So I'm gonna open this up, and it's measuring 20 there. So I know I'm gonna go online now. I'm gonna find a strap that's gonna measure 20, and I got one here. I bought this, and that's how I figured out what size strap to get. Now most watches are 22, 23. You get some big diver watches with 24 lug width. And to put the strap on, the Zulu straps are thicker, so you want to keep that in mind. Sorry, I don't know if you guys could see. So I'm gonna sort of just keep watching because I don't know how to explain what I'm doing. So I'm putting the spring bar back in between the lugs once the strap is in there, like that. So that's what I mean. Like if one spring bar fails, the watch is still connected to your strap. And that's why these straps, the functions of these straps are a bit of a value to servicemen in the military, as well as people in outdoors that do stuff in outdoors. So your watch is usually going to be connected to the strap that's tied to your wrist. So like I said, just keep watching. I do not explain what I'm doing. So I'm just squeezing the spring bars back in between the lug. Now most watch shops will charge you about $5 to do this, maybe $10. So once that's secure, you're gonna definitely check to make sure your spring bars are secure back in. And I'm gonna make sure that's on. So that's your Zulu strap that's on your watch. There's different ways of using these buckles, these extra buckles on the 5-ring Zulu. Believe I saw someone, you could do it like a loop around to get it more secure on your watch. I think I'm doing that wrong. So there's different ways of wearing these with the buckles, just to give you an idea. So Google that. I'm not sure. I usually wear it like just that regular way there. Now the metal watch is a little bit different in that metal bracelets usually have either solid end links, or hollow. This one's hollow, so it's space in there. I believe what I've seen someone do, you could bend these back to access your spring bar, but I haven't had to do that. So I'm just gonna bend that back there. I've never had to do that. Normally I could access the spring bar with a really thin one of these guys, these removal tools. And this one is a little trickier, but I'm gonna start on this side. So I'm gonna do this and I'm just gonna pause the video because it's gonna take me a long time. So basically you're just doing the same technique, but you have to get in there to the head of the spring bar. And your tool, this tool is gonna have to be really, really small. They come in different sizes. So you're gonna have to get maybe the smallest of these tools to get in there. Because if this was a solid end link, this would be really, really tight to get in there. So I'm gonna get in there and I'm gonna pull it out, dig it out. And what most likely, these steel bracelets tend to stick on there, even if this one side of the spring bar is loose. See, that spring bar is up there, but this one is still in, so the bracelet is still secure to the watch, which is a good thing, which is what you'd want in case the spring bar does break, but you're gonna have to play to get that loose like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the other side, and because I'm putting a NATO strap on this, what I could do right away is just put the spring bar back in a lug, back in between the lugs, because my NATO strap is gonna slide right in there without the need for without the need to put like I did with the Zulu strap. So yeah, and this is really slippery, guys. So I'm just gonna kind of push it back in there. I don't know if you guys could see, and then I'm gonna hear it snap. So it didn't go in. I'm gonna pause it and so it's in. Secure, make sure it's very secure. I'm not sure where that spring bar came from. That's so weird. Oh, I know what that is. That came from the bracelet here. So I'm gonna do the other side and come back real quick. All right, guys. So again, I wanted to show you guys, same thing happened on that side. One side came up, but the bracelet is still stuck on the watch. So I'm gonna just play around with it until I get that spring bar. I might use a broad end to just pluck that out. And keep in mind, these could go flying across the room, so you want to be careful they don't go flying out. So like again, I'm going to put this spring bar in. I'm just going to slide my NATO strap right in there. I hope you guys could see. That's the beauty of my phone. I get a zoom feature now. When I first started shooting YouTube videos, I think I had a Nikon Coolpix camera that if you look back at some of my older videos, you can see how bad the resolution is on that camera. And I was like a $500 camera back in 2004, I want to say. So my spring bar is on my watch, but it's amazing what my point is being that my cell phone could take really, really, I think there's a 4K video I'm shooting here. It might not show 4K on you. So that's it. And the NATO strap goes right on there. Like I said, once you have the first NATO strap on there, if you want, you could go out and buy more of these. They slide right in there because the fabric is thin. It looks really good. And I think this dresses up a sporty watch, whereas a Zulu strap would sort of dress down or make a sporty watch out of a formal dressy watch. In fact, I know one thing I did say earlier on, I just realized that my NATO strap, my Zulu strap here is actually thin enough that it could go through the lugs there, the lug pins there, the spring bars. So that's it, guys. That's how you would set up your NATO and your Zulu strap on the watch that you have now.